And the Minnesota Vikings, well, their teams in bad spots, and their teams in good spots. The Vikings in a very good spot, at least record-wise, now 2-0 after a very impressive win over the Packers on Sunday Night Football. But, of course, got terrible news on Wednesday when it became official that Adrian Peterson's knee injury, which at first there was some reports, and it's always annoying when injuries are reported this way. It's like, oh, it's a torn meniscus. Actually, good news. It's like nobody knows what they're talking about because what actually happened was they weren't shaving the meniscus. They have to repair the thing. There's a bucket tear involved. There's an LCL involved. He jacked up his knee bad, so he is out, what they say, is 4 to 6 months, and we know his ability to heal. But at the same time, you have to think there's a chance we've seen the last of Adrian Peterson in 2016 and maybe with the Vikings in general. So now, without Teddy Bridgewater, without Adrian Peterson, they head to Charlotte to face the Panthers. 1-1. They put their Week 1 loss behind them, got healthy, and a blowout win in Week 2. And now here we are, Greg Rosenthal. The Panthers, to me, again, are in a very good spot here at home. I don't know if I'll pick against them once at home this season. I haven't looked at their schedule, but I just think that they're very tough to beat, and that offense looks close to unstoppable.
They do, but they started the game slow against San Francisco, and this is easily their toughest matchup. Well, that's not true. They played Denver in Week 1. But this is a very tough matchup in the NFC by a defense that we think is good enough to win these types of games. So I'm not counting out the Vikings in any game this year.
But if you're the Vikings, this lines up as a pure acid test because you're on the road against one of the best home teams around, and you want to talk about it's what we talked about on Tuesday with the Panthers. The matchup issue when you've got Kelvin Benjamin, Devin Funchess, Greg Olsen, and a decent running game, no matter who's in there, it seems, this is going to test Minnesota's Mike Zimmer-led defense from start to finish.
Well, I think it's an acid test to see if they are emerging as an NFC superpower or if they're still in that might be a wild card, might finish a close race in their division, but maybe can't hang with the best teams in that conference.
Well, it's early for them, and they have some big problems. I mean, they just lost not only Adrian Peterson, they lost Matt Khalil, who was not playing well, but he was still your starting left tackle. Their offensive line was terrible against Green Bay. They won a game where Sam Bradford got knocked around, where Adrian Peterson left the game, and it wasn't running well anyway. So this is a team that they can't survive. They can't expect Sam Bradford to be that good, anticipate throws, and survive a bad offensive line.
And that's what happened to him last year. They lost one lineman after the next.
Well, we heard that this is a mauling group. Well, they're kind of built to maul people. Well, where's the running game right now? It hasn't been there for Peterson. Jerick McKinnon's going to start. He's a better player on third down than Peterson at this point. Asiata's in there.
They signed Ronnie Hillman.
I'm not really that worried about the backfield. I'm more worried about
Greg Rosenthal, where's the mauling?
Greg Rosenthal,
More mauling, please.
Adrian Peterson,
No.
not the best running back.
No, I'm not saying that. On third downs, they've said it with their play calls. In general, they believe McKinnon's a better player on third
Adrian
downs.
Peterson called McKinnon a physical freak. I mean, we have to see that happen.
Xavier Rhodes might return for this game, so you mentioned matching up. There's a physical cornerback that could maybe match up with those Panthers receivers.
Mark, the Vikings are maybe potentially your team of ATL entry. Do you see them coming out of this game 3-0?
Well, I'm going to say yes because I fully
Look at
believe
you.
in this team. It's time for the
Hang those onions.
listen, why not? I mean, I'm typically wrong on every pick that I make, so it doesn't mean anything to the team, but I'll say yes. Go win it.
Everson Griffin getting after it. They're all getting after it. Why not?